Okay, so the next step is I'm going to start laying out some of the lower office area, the lower level office area walls, and only the ones around the front facade is all I'm going to worry about at this stage. So to do that, I think we'll want some of the grid lines placed back again. So I'll just replace some of those grid lines, and I'll change the layer at the moment to, we'll create a new layer. We'll create a new layer in the Layers dialog box. I'll call this layer Lower Framed Walls, and I'll make that the current layer. Close the dialog box. I'll just reinstate those set out lines that we had before. The first one was around about 3 meters. Might make it a bit easier to do if we turn wireframe back on. So I'm just setting these out to the same dimensions we had before. It looks like that one was 3600. So the next one was also. Okay. And looks like also the next one was. If you've worked through this exercise in class, we've actually used some slightly different dimensions for this, so it won't matter. Whichever set of dimensions you lay out will just be a little bit different. Now to reinstate this last grid line here, I'll come back remembering the overall width across the overall grid lines was 24,900. Remembering this one was divided by 4 at the back, and it's in line with the one at the back, so it's 24,900 divided by 4 to that one. Now there's one more I need to put in, and that's the grid line that this column is on. I actually want to check that I have put that column midway between these two grid lines, because we've got a glass curtain wall going at the front here in a nice curve sort of arrangement, and I'd like this column to be central with that glass curtain wall. So I'm clicking on this set out line and going to the other set out line. It's 8475, so I'm coming back and I'm going 8475 divided by 2. Okay, and as you can see, our column isn't exactly on there. So I'm just going to turn off, probably turn off X-ray now, and I'll also turn off the office image layer. Okay, so I'll just pick that, triple click on that column. If you've done this in class, you won't need to, because we had this set out on the right dimension anyway. And I'm going to move that column from this midpoint. Zoom out until I get my grid lines to show again. I'll hold that on green axis and constrain it with my shift key, and then click on this construction line. So we've now moved that column onto that grid line. Now I'm just going to turn my office image layer on and off as I work, and start setting out the walls. Now the walls, well, first of all, there's one other thing we need to do, and that's this front edge. So that edge, whoops, I just want to get the front edge line. Okay, so I've picked up the edge to that wall sheeting, both edges, to create that shape, and I just need to move it back now. So with my move tool, as long as I go on red axis, it doesn't matter where I go from, as long as make sure you keep on red axis. And I'm just going to pull it back clear of that portal frame for now. After we get all the walls laid out, we'll know how far we want to bring it back in to close off that area there. The next thing we want to do is I want to change the height of this concrete tilt-up wall here to be so that the floor joists for the level above could bear on top of that wall. Now if we're looking for a 3300 high floor level for the office level above the factory floor level, 3300, we'd want to allow 220 millimeters for the structure of the floor. That'd be a 200 millimeter steel joist and 20 millimetres of flooring. So that means we'd probably want the top of this wall to be 3080. 3080 plus the 220 will take the floor level back up to 3300. So I'll just grab my tape measure and come up from this edge 3080, and we'll pull down to that line. Get rid of that set out line that I've just created to do that. Okay, so that wall then could establish the height so that the floor joist could span across the top of that wall and create the office level upstairs.